Welcome people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma Toys here on the way to the NEC, as you can see in the background. You can probably see it through the window there. So yes, we are here today to the toy convention for exactly that reason, toys. So it's very cold, it's a little bit early, it's about 7:30 in the morning. I've been up since 6. Fun time to trying to get here. Hopefully I can knock something off of my top 10 list, because it has been a little stuff. Great if I can find something Mighty Ducks as well, because that has drying up a little bit trying to find some of those figures. Apologies for the wind. I'm not going to beat around the bush, we'll get into more footage now. So here we are there is Toys R Us here. Thank you.
No problem. Which is, have you got a channel?
Yeah, very small one, very.
Don't worry, mine was very small a couple of years ago. Colin's
Yeah.
here as well. How are you doing? You okay? There we are. Loose and Squirrel's here as well. You alright? You alright? You okay? Oh mate, I'm all over the place.
I can see you trying to get through. I was like, my stuff is wobbling, their stuff is wobbling. I would have sorted it out. Yeah, no. Oh, sweet. That's right. Yeah. Nearly done. Absolute blinding deal. Thank you for sweating for Archie, I'm going to get back to him. Yeah. See if we'll take that one off, please, like, same price. Yeah. And then for me. Sweet.
So some good toys here. There's Aaron for Empire Toys there.
So I'm just
Here we go, some free little nice gift from Box Collectibles. Some nice Dino Riders stuff there. Very nice Stay Puft Marshmallow there. Yeah.
Yes.
Try not. So here we are at Toy Planet. Lots of nice good toys they have on some good Aliens vehicles there. Old Fortress Maximus.
Is this for you as well?
yeah.
Can I know a little bit more about that jet flyer?
He's complete. He's nice and clean. He's even got that little rare clip.
Right, okay. Let me put these in the bag and I'll just have them.
Yeah.
Like I say,
Oh yeah.
He had one previous owner, that mate.
what did you do, mate?
Me, as a kid.
Cheers, buddy.
Still having the boulder as well.
Huh?
Still having the boulder with it.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
know, right? And I'm sure somewhere I might have another boulder, I'm not too sure.
amount of times I've nearly thrown it away as well.
And I saw it on a video once. I was like,
So some creatures, a nice looking gamma there. More, I think these are Safubi.
Would you do all them for 20?
T-shirt as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. It's not Godzilla though, is it?
No, it's not really like it. When I got it, I thought it was just a bit different.
All right. Yeah.
Like a Japanesey monster
Yeah,
style.
I've got one over there that looks a bit like it. The one on the right end. That's what
Oh,
reminds me
yeah.
of.
Oh, I've looked at them.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I'm just trying to sell everything to you.
That's alright. You're doing a good job.
How about? I just buy what I like, really.
Especially on them. How many is there? There's 4. Who's interested? Yeah, I'll do the 4 for free. Interesting. Framer. That's what everyone else seems to be doing. Framing, yeah. Same as the magazines as well, the movie program. Yeah.
Good morning.
Vintage toy, most there we go. So here we are at David Wells Toys. The second mighty duck figure we find and we have him, unfortunately. Some nice wrestling stuff if that is your flavour. Nice Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
The gentleman who bought the Mandalorian crisps and some other items, he's left something at the store. The gentleman who bought the Mandalorian crisps and some other items, he's left some.
So as we see there, this was or is the video about the NEC. So yes, so I went to the NEC the 7th of April 2024. This is my first time this year to this event. I go to this at least once, or I go to it once a year. I try not to spend too much money. I took £420 with me, so I'm going to disclose that. £18 early entry. I managed, they were letting people in from about 7:30 when I got there. Like it says on the ticket 8. And I was there till just before 11, so it was very busy. I had a very good time. As you will see, I met a lot of good people who will be tagged in there. So obviously Empire Toys, I've spoken to him a few times. Toys R Us, I met him a few times. Said like really nice people, and there's a lot of other people I met. I don't know necessarily whose stores and other things like were linked with, so apologies if I've not messaged you in. So as you will see, I had one thing that absolutely was amazing, and there's a few little developments of that, but we'll get into it. I'm going to try and go into it in a normal of how I picked stuff up. So the first thing I picked up here was this Lurch figure. So we'll take him out. So as you can probably see on the back, it's £3. This I found on a table. This was on my first walk around, so I didn't do any filming for the first walk around, apart from the scan. So I saw this figure. I got Gomez for about a tenner a little while ago. You may see. So I got this one. His mechanism is a little janky. The bloke did say that, but for £3, as you can see, he has paint rub on his nose and that. But I mean, you don't see these a lot, and for £3, I was like, actually, I'm happy. You know, I could probably clean a few bits up, maybe touch up a little bit of paint. but the mechanism does work for the most part. And that was £3, so that was great. But as I was picking it up, I noticed something on the back, and I was like, how much is that? And what was it? It was this thing. So AJ and Matt will know if they watch this. So I've been after this for a little while. I've seen it for like 40, 45 quid. When we went to meet up in London and stuff, you will see in that HMV they had it down as £49, I believe, and then we saw it in another shop and it was like 60. So the guy had it for 25. If you ever look at the original price on there, 38. He's opened it and had it on display, and that's why he was charging 25 for it. I didn't realise it's marked on there, but all complete, everything is in there, all the accessories. I was like £25. I've been after this for a while. Bang, I'm having that. So already £28 down in probably like the first 10 minutes I was there. So then as we went round, I went to some of my regular haunts and stuff, and some of the people that had Gaga and stuff. Unfortunately, quite a lot of stuff I was after they didn't really come across, which was really annoying. So I did pick up some cheapo ones. So first, I think this is Meat Sweats or something. He is from the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. He is one of the last figures. I think it's him and the ball I need, and then that's complete. So found him, it was in a bin, free for £10, and the bloke wanted £2 each. I don't know the maths here, but yeah, so I was like, oh, £2, okay, that's fine, you know. So bang, 30 quid. So we're not doing too bad, and then I get to another stall a little while later, and I find this a very beat up Jonesy from, as people will know, Police Academy. This is the animated series. Unfortunately, like he is very worn. I mean, I've got a few touch-up pens, so I'm going to try and touch up bits of him and his hands the best, to at least make him look half decent. I mean, his joints are mainly all there. They're not too loose. Obviously, his action does work. So if I can get brown and black, I think that will cover the most of it, and it actually make him look a lot better, whereas he looks like he has vitiligo at the minute. But so I saw this one, and then looking round, he had another animated figure. Obviously, again, not complete. Both of these not complete, they're just basic ones, but again, there's stuff you don't really see. I have Mahoney. I think he cost me like a tenner. And yeah, I just don't see these very often. I've only seen them like carded and something, and they're really expensive. So it was 10 quid for the two. I didn't bother bartering with it. I thought that was cheap enough. So that is another tenner. So we're up to £40. So I'm walking around for ages. As I say, I didn't pick up, there is a present for someone in here, so I can't talk about that. So then I found this one. So people had a lot of Street Sharks and stuff like this, and as you will know from the toy series that I did a video, they had this guy. I do have this guy, but as you will know, 4 of the legs have broke off mine. So, oh, and that's wherever that's gone. Move, dog. Okay, so I've lost it. So he has a little screw at the bottom that someone's obviously unscrewed and taken the legs off. But this guy was selling it for £10. His action is there. The squirting bit all works. So I was like, actually, I will upgrade my one for £10. Didn't have any other. I didn't see any other Street Sharks that I wanted or needed. So none of them there. I will find wherever that's gone. So then, as you'll see earlier on, I come across this store. I did film this. So I was when I go around these stores, I make a conscious effort that apart from filming like a wide view, if I go to any stores, I ask the store owner if it's all right to film. And that just because I want their permission. I've not been a vendor to any of these, but I can imagine everyone shoving their cameras in people's faces filming stuff is probably not the nicest thing to do. So I try to be polite, and obviously that always comes across because people then ask like, oh, do you have a channel and all this stuff, and then you network and stuff like this. So yeah, so the people give me this. So I love these little things when I was a little kid. So good to have this and have a go. So it was nice of them. And I'll do, as I say, you'll see I come across some stores. I'll try and plug as many shops and that, and you know, because it was such a nice event. So so the final thing. So more or less I bought everything, and I'm leaving out the really expensive or the really bargain one I got now. Is I come across a store that I got last time, and he had, for some reason I overlooked this booth, and he had some stuff in it. So I bought 3 items. So I bought these 2 figures from Swamp Thing. So after this guy I very rarely come across, and he has his weapon. And basically they are complete. So I'm glad I have all the villains except for the main guy's little rubber bit. So absolutely a great win. 20 quid from there. But there was a 3rd figure. So this is a Mighty Ducks figure, so I'm not going to feature it on this video. But it was 20 quid as well. So he did me the 3 for 50, which I thought was really nice of him. That was the only kind of bargain but I did find a few. So this guy did have a few other figures that I already had, and 2 other stores had 1 individual figure, and no one else had any Mighty Ducks, which has really been a pain because I'm really working on that, except for one guy who did have one, so he has the main villain. So I'm going to reach out to him, and hopefully we can do a deal, and I can get that figure in, and that's at least another one. So then we go to my absolute bargain. So you will see this here. So this is Toxic Crusaders. Now it doesn't look that sparse, and I'm going to put some pictures up here. So it is missing actually a figure. So when I picked this up, I come across a table. They had Transformers. That was what they were mainly selling, and it had this, and it had the main guy, Major Disaster. You will see it has the Mop, it has Blobby, it has most of Major Disaster's weapons, and it has 2 little flags, which I assume are for vehicles. So yeah, so I saw this and saw the price, picked it up in my hand, said, can I take this? The bloke took it off me, looked at the price, and I was like, oh my god, he's going to realise his price is wrong. I went, no, that's fine. And that price is £10. And what are people saying is, obviously, this guy, massively hard to find. The Mop, Blobby, and Toxie, you try and find one of them, and the prices are on it are like 60, 70, 100 odd pounds. He does have a shield, which is a little hard to find, but it's not massively. Blobby is the massive one. Major Disaster, most of his weapons, you're looking 30, 40, 50 quid. This should have been about £100 from what most people, if the figures were separate with more or less everything they come with, easily could have got £100 by far. Me looking at this, seeing 10, I was like, they've missed a 0. I'm not going to say anything. Picked it up brilliantly. So I was walking around, and when I walked around to Empire Toys, he had, I think, Andy, I can't remember the last bit of his name, so he was there, and I bought something off that store, and this is the present for friends, and stuff like this, but I can't obviously show it in this video. So anyway, I was speaking to Andy, and as I was packing it in, I was like, oh, by the way, I found this. He looked at it and was like, is that price right? I went, yeah. Explained the story. He was like, another one of the guys. So this is Empire Toys. I'll tag it in there. I can't remember the last bit of his one, but a group he hangs around with. So one of the other guys was there. He come walking by, and Andy was like, look at this, look at what he's got. And he was like, oh my God. And then ran up and goes, can I borrow this for a second? Ran up to his mate and showed him. And what it is, his mate really, really wanted the Toxic Crusader that was in this. So he come back, so the bloke was saying to me, oh, would you sell it stuff? And I was like, no, it's all right, you know, I've got it, a bargain, blah, blah, blah. We went off walking. Didn't think much of it until I was walking around, and I thought, well, to be honest, as I say, this figure and the other figure I have. This figure has one little broken bit that I have, so I definitely didn't want to get rid of him. But Toxie, I have a perfect version, you know, he's really clean, it would have took all the joints to that. So anyway, so I'm walking around again, walked back to the store, because this is where I got the silvery stuff. That was the last thing I picked up. And I come across this guy again, and he's like, well, would you sell me the Toxie? And I sat there, and people who know me, people who know like my other channel and stuff like that, I tried to be as nice and as kind, as friendly as I can, and I'm not out there to screw people over. So I was like, well, I don't really want money for it, let's do a trade for it, if that's all right with him. And he was all right. I mean, he obviously wanted it. he wasn't putting pressure on me, and he even said, you know, don't feel pressure if you don't want to give it to me. But literally, the realism for me is I have the figure. I have the figure of the same quality. To be honest, when I pulled it out, I thought the one was a little bit worse than my one, in all fairness. And I said to him, did he want to feel the joints? And he think, well, no, I just want it for my collection. I said, so okay, I will look through your bin and see what you have got. Now, obviously, he knows I paid a tenner for everything in. Now, the figure, it varies in price. It probably could be 10, I would say 10 to 25 quid people selling for, depending on quality and issue and the time of everything. I'm not going to turn around to him when he knows I paid a 10 and go, you owe me 25 quid's worth of stock. So I said, that's why I wanted to trade. So I looked through what he had, and I found one figure. It's a figure I don't come across. It's not necessarily the most expensive figure in the world. But this is where the realisation came. You know, I want to help other collectors. I was very fortunate. Some bloke obviously didn't know what he got, and I got an absolute steal. With everything here, I now more or less have a complete two complete characters, which I didn't have before. And paying a tenner is you know, amazing. Like, one of his mates who did take the thing off me did go sell me the blob it, and I'm like, no, I know how expensive. Someone sold this on Facebook the other day just before the NEC for 30 quid, and this guy does really cheap prices. So I know this guy is, you know, this guy alone makes the whole thing worth it. The figure, I would have just got home, unpacked it. It would just sit in my seconds bin, and then I would have to sell it at some point, or maybe trade it. Yes, I could have got more money than what, you know, I could have got more than my money back. But fellow collector to fellow collector, I'm not going to be an arsehole. I said, I think it's very rude for me to have got a bargain and go, actually, it's like 30 quid. I want for it. I'm going to take 30 quid's worth in trade. I was like, that's fine. So I looked for everything and I found this figure, and this is the figure here. So this is Dr. Hiss. This is from a 90 TV series called Botsmaster. Absolutely lovely show, and I've been looking for these figures, and I've not seen any in like the 3 years I've been collecting. I've seen a few online, but you just don't come across them. Yes, they may not be very expensive, but I saw this figure and I was like, this is the figure I want. This is the figure I kind of need. It's for that set. This guy's there. I will just swap it. He was more than happy to have it. And as I say, for me, it would just sit in my parts bin. And what's the point of that when someone really, really wants it? It cost me, say, £1 of this. If you break everything up, I think there's about 10 items there. So the figure cost me £1. So getting something, let's say, even if this figure's worth 5-10 quid, I am still up. Yes, I could have kept the figure and sold it on and made more money, but I'm not out to do that. I'm not a, you know, a seller or not or reseller to make loads and loads of money. I lucked out. I couldn't have got any better. And even the guy said, and I mean, I've seen bargains, but I've nowhere seen anything, you know, 90 quid mock-up, give or take. Absolutely stunning. So yes, so I got Dr. Hiss, so he goes in. So I want a few figures from him. So I don't want to complete the line, but because I say I don't really see them, but it's good to have memories from there. So that was my pickup. That made my day. I say, hopefully the guy, if he watches this video, or like I said, I'm going to tag Empire Ties into it, so hopefully his mate sees this and, you know, and is really happy with the figure and stuff like this. I say I'm happy it went to a good home. As I say, what's the point of me keeping it in my bin? Because I see people do sell them, and they don't. You can sell them quite quick sometimes. Not. It depends on price, and everybody's after accessories, and I got mine. Anyway, that has been my massive video of the NEC. Absolutely cannot speak highly enough. I said all the people I met were really, really nice and friendly. I said I'm glad, you know, I got to knock some brilliant figures off mine. I'm glad I got to help some other people out. I got to network with a few people and stuff like this, and say maybe a few other figures for some of the stuff I might be able to hook up from talking to people. If you haven't been to the NEC, I would recommend it. Definitely, you know, I always say early bird. Obviously, it's £18 now, so it's quite expensive compared to £10, but that's personal choice. Otherwise, anything in this video you think I got a bargain on, let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I've been Cypher Sigma Toys, and I shall see you in the next one.